Welcome to another episode of Palm Harbor Local. I'm your host, Florida native and real estate ninja, Donnie Hathaway. You know, I started this podcast because I'm extremely passionate about connecting you with the people and the local businesses that make Palm Harbor so special. Palm Harbor, Florida is a great place to live, work, and play. It has everything you could dream of, from the food, the outdoors, the lifestyle, to the people in the community. I wanted to create a podcast that connected the community and inspired everyone to live better. To join this community and stay up to date on all things Palm Harbor, visit my website, it's palmharborlocal.com, and sign up there to join the locals. And remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local. All right, so today we have a special episode, a little bit different than what we've done in the past. And today we are welcoming back Kelsi Ward for another podcast.
I'm excited to be here in quite a different role this time, but yeah, let's do it.
Yep. So the different role is you are now joining. We have created the Hathaway group within Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. So welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yep. So why don't we let's start with. If you didn't go back and listen to your first episode, Kelsi's first episode, go back and listen to it now. And let's start with so you are coming from the fitness training world, and why have you decided to make this transition into real estate and become a real estate agent?
I think that people would be surprised with how many parallels there are between a personal trainer, a coach, and a real estate agent. We're both helping people navigate big life transitions, big goals, big dreams. And, that takes a lot of trust and courage and appreciation for one another. And I just wanted to take those skills and transfer it into real estate and really help people out that way.
Yep. So you, that's pretty cool. And there is a lot of, similarities, right? The relationships, like we've talked about, like you're connecting with people and just what you do with marketing and stuff to kind of build those connections and relationships is very similar.
Yeah. I was really inspired by a realtor that I had a great experience with. I needed to sell my home and I truly did not know where to begin. I think that realtors weren't as easily accessible the way that they are, as visible, I should say. So,
Sure.
I couldn't go to social media. I couldn't go to Facebook at the time, but I needed to sell my house. So I just picked up the phone, and I always say that God sent me an angel in realtor form because she helped me through that process. And I thought she was such a rock star and such an inspiration. And I worked with her for many years after that on several transactions and things. And I thought, if I could be that person for somebody else and really just pay it forward to them and take them through what can be a very tricky experience to navigate, if I could take them through that experience and that process as seamlessly as she took me, then I would just be over the moon happy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So when you first kind of met her, or first kind of went to that first transaction, is that what kind of got your wheels started turning about real estate?
Yeah, definitely. The first house that I purchased was a short sale, and I think we had been in it like 6 months, and I'm like looking around at home values and I'm like, man, we have some equity in this thing already. Like, we should just move. There was no reason to move. Some life changes happened, which gave me reason to move. So it ended up being a really exciting transition. But yeah, that definitely got my wheels turning. And then from there, kind of around the same time, my mom had started flipping condos. And that kind of got my wheels turning a little more. So we jumped in on that side of the business. And yeah.
So you have a little bit of experience in real estate then. You purchased some personal properties and then investments as well, right?
Yes,
yeah.
For sure.
What are some things you've learned from like maybe some of the investment purchases that you can probably kind of take with you or transition into your role as an agent? What's up, Palm Harbor? It's your host, Donnie Hathaway. If you are looking to stay up to date with all things Palm Harbor, then visit my website. It's palmharborlocal.com. Super simple. You can sign up there, join the locals, where I'll be sharing more information on local events, local history, and what's happening in Palm Harbor. You know, I really want to create and add more value to you as a listener for spending your valuable time tuning into my podcast. So join me there, keep listening, and remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local.
I would say don't skip any of the steps in the home buying process, even if they seem redundant.
Yeah.
Do your home inspections, do your due diligence, follow all the steps because you don't want any surprises. When I've bought a personal property for myself to live in, we were doing the final walkthrough and that kind of seems redundant, right? We've already done the inspection. Everything's good to go. We're just need to pick up the keys. Why do we need to walk through one more time? Well, we were doing this final walkthrough and it was June, so middle of summer in Florida. Yeah. It's hot.
Yeah.
And there was a sink full of ice. And it was not like ice cubes. It was like blocks and chips of ice. And so I'm like, where the heck is all this ice come from? It came from the AC unit. And they had propped up the AC unit through the inspection. The seller had propped it up during the inspection, made it seem like everything was fine. It was broken.
Wow.
Had we not done that final walkthrough and, followed all the steps in the home buying process, we really would have gotten burned on that after closing.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it's like all those things can break, during that, purchasing process, right? So, taking that final step, walking through the home one last time to make sure everything is still functioning, is huge.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that. So what are you most excited about in this new role?
Gosh, there's so many things. I think it's really just meeting people and helping them fulfill their dream. Mm-hmm. Taking them through the process to reach their final goal of either home ownership or, selling a property that they need to move on from. I'm really excited. I know it sounds very specific, but just to see the look on people's faces when they get those keys or when they sign that contract. Just because I've been there so many times myself and I know the excitement and the journey that comes with that. And I want to be able to give that to other people. Yeah,
that's really cool. I think that, that's the one thing that kind of stands out. And I think a lot of agents would say that too, that, there's so many ups and downs like throughout the process, throughout the transaction and stuff. But then you come closing day and usually not all the time, but usually everybody's super happy and excited to be there and kind of closing and purchasing that new home. Right. So that is pretty cool. So what stood out to you? So as a new agent, you have like many different brokerages and stuff to choose from. So what stood out to you when it came to deciding to join Berkshire Hathaway Home Services?
Yeah, I think just the values pretty much, the integrity and passion and excellence. Those are things that are true to my core as well. And that is something that is so important to me. It's not just about hitting a sales goal and the numbers and all of that. Like that's a nice, I think, side effect of leading with your values.
Yeah.
And that's something that stood out to me with Berkshire Hathaway is that they lead with those values and everything else falls in line because they have that priority set straight first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's huge. And I think that's, like when we started talking, when we, first did the podcast together when you were with Little Warrior Fitness, and then like our conversations over the last year or so, like that's one thing that stood out to me and why I thought you'd be such a great fit for Berkshire Hathaway and for creating the Hathaway Group is just, our values align and kind of your work ethic and everything that falls into place there, I think is a perfect fit for what we're doing here. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I think if you take a step back and you lead with your values, that can transfer to a multitude of things. It's not something that you put in a box. I don't walk into the doors of the office and say, okay, time to turn my values on and then do my work for a few hours, turn my values off and, go be a horrible person to my family. Your values apply to your family, yourself, your clients, your business, your life. So I think just having that flow and transferability, it just seemed like a seamless fit.
Yeah. And I think that's key, right? Like you hit a really key point there, and it's just the way you go about life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that transitions into real estate. Because real estate, the role that we play, there's so many different avenues, and you have to be a good person, right, to be in this role and do the right thing at all times.
For sure. I think if you want longevity and you want to last, you got to be a good person.
Yes.
There's no way around that.
Yeah, you can't cover that up.
Yeah.
You'll eventually get found.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. I just, like I said, I'm excited to kind of start this journey with you and start the Hathaway group. If you are listening to this, and I just want to say thank you for your support. Thank you for, following along and continuing to follow along, and reach out to Kelsi or myself if you have any real estate needs, any friends or family that are looking for to purchase or sell a property here in the near future. But thank you guys for listening. Kelsi, anything else you want to bring up, mention?
No, I think that's it. I'm just excited to meet you and hopefully get to see that look on your face that I'm so eager to see. And thanks for listening.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Thank you again for listening to another episode of Palm Harbor Local. I really hope you got a ton of value out of today's episode. Now, if you're looking to connect with the guest or just get more information on the episode, then you can check the description below. I'll have all the links in the episode as well as a link back to my website. It's palmharborlocal.com, where you can stay up to date on what's going on with the podcast and sign up there to join the locals. Let's get after it this week. And remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local.